welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'm going to continue my ongoing coverage of Who's Who in the DC Universe with issue 21. I have been saying during my coverage of these issues that there are 24 volumes in the first run. I stand corrected, there are 25. I do have them all, but I've just been laboring under that misconception for a while and I wanted to correct the record. Let's have a look at our gorgeous wraparound cover from Ernie Colon. This issue incidentally covers Shrinking Violet all the way through Starfinger, and we see those characters colorfully arrayed on this beautiful wraparound cover. My favorite part is Shrinking Violet, whose head may be a bit large from the perspective standpoint in this image, but she's kind of lurking next to this villainous character, the Spook, and he's giving her the side eye. So it's a pretty fun. Love Slipknot, one of my favorite loser villains from the DC Universe. Spider Guild up here in the corner. Of course, Solomon Grundy, front and center, reaching with his massive paw. Great character, really cool. There's just some visually stunning characters in this issue. So let's dive in, take a look. And first start with Who's Who, Hows, and Whys. A number of letters here. Couple of corrections from some fans writing in. And then writer Brian Butler has a question. Dear Who's Who people, when I read your entry on Nightwing, I came up with a question. Does anything that happens in New Teen Titans have any relation to things that happen in Tales of the Teen Titans? So here we have probably a younger reader or a newer reader a little confused about the difference between the Teen Titans Baxter book and the reprint Tales of the Teen Titans, which was the original book that was retitled. It was confusing. The same thing happened to the Legion. Anyway, Robert Greenberger is our editor and Len Wein contributing editor. Paul Kupperberg, Paul Levitz, Bob Rozakis, Greg Weisman contributing writers. Nelson Bridwell, Peter Sanderson, writer-researchers. Todd Klein, production, contributing writer. Anthony Tolan, Len Wein, Tatiana Wood, Tom Ziuko, colorist. Carl Gafford, copy editor, colorist. And Ernie Colon, as I said, does the cover. We begin with Shrinking Violet, with great artwork by Jaime Hernandez. Alter Ego's Salu Digby. First appearance, Action Comics 276. And Shrinking Violet can reduce her size from only inches tall to microscopic. Everyone on her planet can do that. She's a number. Imsk is the name of her planet. She's a member of her planet and joined the Legion as sort of a representative. And great character during the later run of Lytle Giffen, and then or Paul Levitz and Giffen, and then Paul Levitz and Steve Lytle. She really came into her own as both a fighter and just a really solid contributor to the Legion. Great character. On to the Signalman with awesome artwork by Ross Andrew, Rick Magyar. First appearance, Batman 112, alter ego, Phil Cobb. Occupation, professional criminal. The Signalman has no unusual powers, but relies mainly on gimmicks. Again, one of the many gimmick villains that populate the DC Universe. Next up, we have the Silent Knight with awesome artwork by Irv Novick and Bruce Patterson. Alter ego, Brian Kent. First appearance, Brave and the Bold, #1. Great, really great artwork. I love this. Almost D&D-like. Really cool. Got a double entry here on page 4. Silver Deer, alter ego, Shanka. First appearance, Fury of Firestorm 25. Art by Joe Brzezowski and Roden Rodriguez. Silver Deer can magically change her appearance to another person or take on animal form. Oh, she's pretty cool. Next up, Silver Ghost with art by Scott McCloud. Usually the guy who draws all the Captain Carrot stuff, and you can see the cartoony aspects of his style here, which I really like. First appearance, Freedom Fighters #1, alter ego, Raphael Van Zant. Great character. Next up, we have Silver Scarab with great artwork by Mike Mocklin and Jerry Ordway. Usually it's reversed. Usually Jerry Ordway does the pencils and Mike Mocklin does the inks, but they have it here that Mocklin is the penciler, so they usually list the penciler first. First appearance, All-Star Squadron 25, Hector Sanders Hall. He is a founding member of Infinity Inc. and the son of the Hawkman of Earth 2. Next up, we have the Silver Swan with some gorgeous artwork by Bill Sienkiewicz. Helen Alexandros is her name. First appearance, Wonder Woman 288. Next up, we have Sinestro, a very famous and storied DC villain. Great artwork by none other than Gil Kane. Who else would you expect to do this one? Alter ego is Sinestro. He is who he is, folks. Green Lantern number 7. This will be the Silver Age Green Lantern, of course, is his first appearance. Height 6'7", weight 203, so he is a string bean. Next, we have Sivana, Thaddeus Bodog Sivana. First appearance, Wiz Comics number 2, art by Kurt Schaffenberger. Then we have the Sivana family. Again, art by Kurt Schaffenberger. Their first appearance is Butia, Wiz Comics number 3, Magnificus, Wiz Comics 15, Sivana Jr., Captain Marvel Adventures 52, and Georgia, Mary Marvel number 1. So just as there was a Marvel family, there was a Sivana family. I love this one too, this awesome double-page map, The Inner World of Skartaris. This is the haunt of the Warlord. Great DC character created by Mike Grell, I believe. First appearance, first issue special, number 8. Really cool map. As a role player, a D&D fan, all things fantasy, RPG, superheroes, whatever. These maps are gold, man. You could really get a lot of mileage out of this from a role play standpoint. Sea of Grell, love it, Mike Grell. Next, we have another one of those insidious organizations that populate the DC universe, Skull. Their first appearance was Superman 301, art by Dan Jorgens and Dave Hunt. Love the classic Jorgens artwork. Next up, we have Skyman, art by Tom Greinberg. First appearance, Star Spangled Comics number 1 as Skyman, Infinity Inc. number 31. On to Slam Bradley with art by Jim Aparo. His first appearance was Detective Comics number 1, Alter Ego None. You're definitely, when your parents name you Slam, there's definitely some destiny involved. Next, we have another one of those DC villains, those lesser DC villains I love so much, Slipknot. First appearance, Fury of Firestorm 28, Alter Ego Unknown. Artwork, Joe Brzezowski and Jerry Acerno. Slipknot uses ropes treated with a powerful adhesive he developed that makes them stronger than titanium steel. Slipknot is highly athletic and a master of hand-to-hand combat. It's just amazing that he was a Firestorm villain, which is crazy because Firestorm has godlike powers, but there you go. He was a brief member of the Suicide Squad until he had his arm blown off in Suicide Squad number 9, I believe. Next up is Lucas Snapper Carr. Real name, Lucas Snapper Carr. First appearance, Brave and the Bold 28. Art by Joe Brzezowski and Bernard Sachs. Solomon Grundy, so prominent on our cover. Great artwork here from Murphy Anderson. Real name, inapplicable. First appearance, All-American Comics number 61. Height 7 feet 5 inches, weight 517 pounds. Solomon Grundy possesses vast superhuman strength. He is virtually impossible to kill. He is immune to bullets, fire, and extreme cold, and can survive indefinitely without food, water, or oxygen. I'd love to see him go up against the Shaggy Man. I wonder if that's ever happened. Next, we have Sonar, another Gil Kane entry. Really excellent artwork here from Gil Kane. Beto Lawton is his name. Green Lantern number 14, first appearance. Another early Green Lantern villain. Nice work there by Gil Kane. Son of Vulcan is our next entry. Johnny Mann. First appearance, Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds number 46. Ross Andrew and Romeo Tongal are our artists on this one. Next, we have the Space Cabbie with art by Bernard Sachs. Alter Ego Unknown, first appearance Mystery in Space, number 26. That's the great thing about Who's Who is they're honestly trying to get every character who had ever appeared in a DC Comics, even the weirdest, goofiest, strangest ones. They're in here. Space Museum is our next entry, art by Carmine Infantino and Mike DiCarlo. Let's see, first appearance of the Space Museum, Strange Adventures 104. From the Space Museum to the Space Ranger, with art by John Workman and Bob Smith. Cool to see John Workman, one of the great letterers in comics, actually do some artwork here. I'm sure aided and abetted by Bob Smith. His first appearance, Showcase 15, Alter Ego Rick Starr. Spanner Galaxy is our next entry with brilliant artwork by Tom Mandrake. I love Mandrake's work, really good. He had a great run on the Spectre for DC. First appearance, Spanner's Galaxy, number 1. The Spawn of Frankenstein, with great artwork by Michael William Kaluta. First appearance, Phantom Stranger, number 23. Alter Ego, none. The Spawn of Frankenstein possesses superhuman strength, and because he is an artificially created being, is extremely difficult to kill. Great artwork by Kaluta. We haven't seen a ton of Kaluta. He's been spotted here and there in our journey through here, and now we're on issue 21. But I love it when he does show up. Next up, the Spectre, James Brendan Corrigan. First appearance, More Fun Comics, number 52. Art by Mike Mocklin and Jerry Ordway. The Spectre was the most powerful known being in the universe, capable of virtually any feat. His powers vastly increased over the years. At times, the Spectre utilized the mystic ring of life to perform feats that were then beyond his powers. Wow. Next up, we have Speedy, drawn by Eric Shanower. First appearance, More Fun Comics 73. Alter Ego Roy Harper. This is a very young Speedy in this picture too, because when I think of Speedy, I think of when I first encountered him in New Teen Titans number 29, and just kind of, he was basically a grown man at that point. Yeah, very cool. Obvious in full-on sidekick mode here. Oh, okay. Now we have the Speedy that I am more familiar with great artwork by Stan Walk. So that was the Golden Age Speedy on the previous page. Golden Age Speedy, Silver Age Speedy. I forgot for a moment that they had been doing this throughout the series, so I got fooled. Adventure Comics 250 is his first appearance. This artwork by Stan Walk is so great. A little bit of Perez homage right there, maybe. Stan Walk is just, his figure work is awesome. Next up, Spellbinder, with art by Carmine Infantino and Joe Giella. Detective Comics 358 is his first appearance, and his alter ego is unknown. And here we have the Spider Guild. I love this Kevin O'Neill artwork. The Spider Guild's first appearance was Green Lantern 167. Yeah, they are a villain of the Vegan Galaxy. I think they basically, in addition to fighting Green Lantern, they also, I think, battled the Omega Men at some point. But, man, this is great sci-fi artwork by Kevin O'Neill here. There's nothing that guy can't make look cool. And next up, we have the Spook. We mentioned him on the cover. Here he is. Here's his entry. Irv Novick and Bill Ray artwork. Alter Ego, Val Caliban. First appearance, Detective Comics 434. The Spook has no actual superpowers, but is a supreme escape artist whose skill is surpassed only by that of the Batman and Mr. Miracle. He employs various means to make himself appear to be a supernatural being. A master hypnotist, the Spook spent 2 years in India learning how to place himself in a trance in which his body functions are so slow he appears to be dead. The Spook is a fair hand-to-hand combatant. And we go from the Spook to the Sportsmaster, who's another one of my really favorite lesser villains in the DC pantheon of losers. His first appearance, well, let's get to his alter ego, Crusher Croc. First appearance as Croc, All-Star Comics 85, as Sportsmaster Green Lantern 28. Artwork is by Chuck Beckham. He has no superpowers, but in his prime, he was one of the world's greatest athletes. So, cool character. Next, we have Stalker with that unmistakably Steve Ditko artwork, inked by Joe Orlando. You'd know that was Steve Ditko from a mile away. First appearance, Stalker #1, alter ego unknown. And next we have Starboy with then Legion regular artist Greg LaRocque providing the pencils and Joe Rubenstein inking. First appearance, Adventure Comics 282, Thom Kalor. And his biggest claim to fame is probably being Dreamgirl's longtime boyfriend, which is a pretty great thing to be. Really awesome. Love that costume. And finally, we have Starfinger with artwork by Martin King and Del Barris. Dr. Lance Hanscom is his real name. First appearance, Adventure Comics 335. And yeah, he appears to be a Legion villain. Starfinger possesses no known powers of his own and is a poor combatant. Starfinger is probably the most cowardly of the major villains of the 30th century, choosing to strike repeatedly at the Legion through proxies. So pretty great. We've got our inside back cover showing some of the issues where you might find some of the characters in here. Keeping up with tradition for the series. Excellent. And that is it, folks. That is Who's Who in the DC Universe, Volume 21. We continue our march to issue 25. That will be the final issue of this series. And then hopefully we'll get into the Who's Who in the Legion, and we'll get into the Who's Who updates from 87 and 88. But we've got a little work to do before we get there, and I hope you're there with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.